Hello and welcome to minute 6 of the 1 Minute More series. 6 minutes is insane. I think something I want to talk about, which will just be a long rant, is I've been learning to drive over here in the UK, kind of. I've been studying for, there's a written part of the test that you have to study for. I drove in the US, so I know how to drive, but I had to take these to kind of learn the rules of the road, understand the different signs, because over here it's completely different. You drive on a different side of the road, there's different rules, there's a different like culture to driving as well that I have to get used to, because I'm used to like driving in the suburbs and in the city, and it's just very different over here. Yeah, and I took my written theory test this past Saturday, and I failed by 1 point, and that was just due to cars. I'll be driving automatic because that's what I know. I don't feel the need to learn how to use manual, but the test will ask you questions about what gear do you need to be in to do this, and what gear for these conditions, which I didn't study because I don't think I need to know that. But so I'll be retaking the test next month. I will study how to learn how to drive a manual so that I understand those things, and it'll all be fine. Yeah, but it was a fun test to allow myself to fail as well, because I kind of went to the test going, I know I've studied, I know things, but it could go either way, and it went the way that wasn't preferred, but it's okay. Yeah, I did it. I know what it'll be like the next time I take it. It'll be fine. But yeah, but something that I've been kind of coming up against since studying and learning the rules of the road over here, particularly the signs and what is used over here to indicate certain things, is so different from the States, to the point where I just think it's wrong. I'm gonna say it, and I wish I could just change how driving works over here, because it drives me insane. There are, I think the main things that I don't understand are, we'll start off, so in the States, when you're driving on a road that has two different directions of cars, the dividing line is yellow, so that you know yellow means you don't want to cross over to the other side, because that's opposite flow traffic. Over here, it's white, which is the same color as the line dividers between the same flow of direction traffic. They make the lines at the end of the road, like on the sides of the road, yellow, to be like, this is the side of the road. And I'm like, well, we know it's the side of the road because there's no more road, so why? So I think like that's like my big concern when you're driving. Sometimes you could be in a like, you don't know if you're in a one-way that has two lanes going the same way, or if you're in a single lane road that has opposite flow, so there's still two lanes and they're just going opposite way. You just kind of have to like pick up on cues of other signs where those are facing, or road markings and stuff, but like it's not intuitive. I feel like if you just had the yellow in the middle, we'd be like, great, cool, and you can still apply all the other fancy things you want to do with the roads that way. Yeah, this whole episode is just gonna be me talking about what I wish was different for driving. The other one that really is taking me a long time to understand is there's different types of signs over here. There's the squares, there's triangles, and circles, and then there's blue ones, and there's red ones, and there's different kinds, and they all mean something different. And I'm starting to get the hang of that. But there are ones that are like, these types of vehicles are not allowed in this path. So sometimes there's places where, I don't know, trucks are allowed, but cars and motorcycles aren't, or bikes are allowed and cars and motorcycles. There'll just be different signs which are like big, more open roads, but it's more pedestrian-like, and so cars and motorcycles aren't allowed. But the sign will be a red circle with the image of the car and motorcycle in the middle, and then that's it. but there's no, like, from my perspective, anything that's not allowed. And I think in America it's very much, if it's not allowed, you'll have the red circle with a slash through it to be like, no, don't do it. But over here it's just the circle, so I have to look at the circle and be like, that's not allowed. That really annoys me. And there's little signs like that drives me up a wall. There's like a sign that's like blue and red with the red circle, and there's 2 slashes, which means no parking, I think. And then there's one with only a single slash, which is no waiting. Doesn't make sense. It just there's a lot of signage and like symbols for things that you just have to kind of learn and memorize, and I'm sure once you've done that, it's fine, you don't really question it. But just as for someone with the perspective of coming from the States to this, it's rough. And that's where we're gonna end this little rant. I could go on forever.